Welcome to another Crafting with Roswell. Today we'll be making a spider web vase. Your kit includes a foam brush. I'm reusing one from a previous project. You'll receive a hurricane vase and a container of white primer paint. You will also need a paint color of your choice, hot glue sticks and a hot glue gun, a dry erase or permanent marker to mark your spiderweb design, paper towels and rinse water if you're reusing your foam brush, and a hair dryer to speed up drying times. Another suggested extra would be rubbing alcohol to help clean the exterior of your vase before you get started. To begin, I'm going to start with peeling off the sticker that might be on the bottom of your vase. I found mine very easy to remove, so hopefully yours is as well. There was no sticky residue left behind and it peeled cleanly away. Next step is using a paper towel and some of the rubbing alcohol to wipe down the sides of the vase to remove any dust, lint, and a majority of the fingerprint oils that might have been on your vase from packaging and then handling into your kit. I found a dry erase marker to be the easiest to use with this project, but before you do any marker or marking of your spiderweb design, make sure that your vase is completely dry if you use the rubbing alcohol. Mine needed a little more attention. So dry erase marker is super forgiving. With this chisel tip, it's very easy to see my lines. So I'm just going to make a few marks on the glass just to show you how clearly that goes on. And then if you're unhappy with your design, just as easily it can be wiped away for you to start over to try again. I have gone ahead and done the spiderweb vase design already. If anyone would like, I will share a quick tutorial either after this video or early tomorrow on how to make a spiderweb pattern. Basically, I did a line up and down, an X through a center point where they all met, and then a line across, and then did little rounded shapes to connect the different arms of my spider web. So my little rounded curves point towards that center. And now it's time to start hot gluing. So with the design on our vase, all you're going to do is cover over your line with hot glue. I recommend practicing with your hot glue before you go right to your glass so you know how quickly it comes out by squeezing the trigger, how thick you want your lines to be. That's all a matter of preference. A little unevenness isn't going to affect your vase final design. It's whatever's appealing to your eye. So all of the lines are now covered, and I'm ready for the next step. Which is to peel away any of those little strings that usually happen with the hot glue gun. If they are bothersome to your eye, I highly recommend at this point just taking a little time, going around your design, gently using your fingertip and your fingernail to kind of break them off the glass and pull them off. But don't push too hard on your design. Your design is not permanently attached to the glass. If you push too hard, you will start to remove your spiderweb design that you'd rather have stay. So just gently go through each little section and peel off any of those little stragglers. So now that it's all cleaned up to my satisfaction, it's time to get ready to paint. So one light coat of the primer paint was all I did on my vase. If you prefer a more even finish, I recommend doing 2 light coats. But you're just going to gently work around each section around your hot glue and in next to your hot glue without pushing too hard to make it dislodge from the glass, and cover over your hot glue strands. That way whatever color you're painting next will adhere over your hot glue and not separate in those areas. So then you'll end up with a nice solid color finish for your project. So after a few touch-up in areas that I noticed were kind of light in coverage, I am ready now to let this dry fully. Once completely dry to the touch, it's time to move on to our next step, which is painting over in whatever color you chose. I'm using a black chalk paint that I had some left of, not enough to be able to include into kits, and just enough, I believe, to get me through covering this vase. Finishing up the major sections, and I highly recommend using a small tip paintbrush to go in closer to your spiderweb design to fill in any white spaces that you might still see. It's really hard to get into those really intricate areas with the sponge brush. But in general, there is our finished project that just needs to dry. And I hope you'll join me next week when we make a pumpkin spice sugar scrub.